Welcome, Scorpio, to your end of the month reading for May. Hope your friends are doing great out there. If you friends like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, my friends, let's see what's going on with you at the end of the month. Best message, please, for Scorpio. Best message for Scorpio. I just had this beautiful lunar eclipse. And remember, guys, on the 22nd, we are entering Mercury retrograde. I know, we just all sigh. Ugh. Got will, wisdom, and mind coming out with 20. This is talking about the powerful 3 within yourself. This can also be talking about how empowering it is at this moment where you're really starting to gather things within your mind, right? Healthier thoughts of this, doing that, doing all kinds of stuff. The 20 is also speaking of your conscious, right? How your conscious is going with your the conscious of your intellect, with your intuition, with all the wisdom, all the mind. Very conscious about things that are going on around you. So you could also feel like you are wearing the golden crown at this time, or really raising high to grab that for yourself. This could also be talking about you also being within a significant position of authority, or feeling like you're gaining what you need for your own authority, meaning you kind of really have the ball in your court at this time. This is also speaking about a time to take advantage of all the powers that are around you. So if you haven't felt like you really reached out and grabbed the ball yet, Spirit says now is the time for you to really reach out, grab that ball, as that ball is really there to help you manifest more things and bring you in the things that maybe you felt you didn't have control of, but now you have the control. So it's really kind of gaining your own reins over here, okay, and being really receptive to it. So as you're really becoming aware of what it is you can gain, you know that this has receptibility back to you, right? So there's it's reciprocating what you want, right? I'm giving it out what I want, and it's bringing it back in. So there's a lot of reciprocation. Okay, so it could be exhausting, right? It could be, you could have been very exhausted about the situation, but now it's time to really grab the bull by the horns, I guess we could say. In crescent moon, there it is. Look at that. This is a time for increase, abundance, and prosperity, with the waxing moon over here is telling you whatever you felt was going, not in your favor is now coming into your favor, right? So, wow. Spring and or summer and winter. So those of you, of course, in Australia or New Zealand, it is winter time. Actually, right now it's not even winter; it's autumn, but it will be winter when we have summer. For others of you over here, going into summertime, it will go all the way through winter. Okay, so it's saying this is a good time right now. I love the 5 too because it's May. Right, 5th month, here we go for the next 6 months. We're going to get this done. So really feeling this increase and really feeling the abundance really coming through, really starting to feel it during the summertime. As summer is really approaching right now, getting out of spring or autumn, depending on where you are. The King of Scrolls. And this is because it's also talking about anything that you want to do that's even maybe legal, legalizing documents, doing anything like this, taking on new adventures of writing, maybe you're a publicist, things of this nature. All these things can really come into play for you. You might even have this beautiful King of Scrolls around you. Maybe they work with, I don't know, maybe they're architects, or, they do some kind of business planning for the city, book authors, anything like this. But it's really talking about the intellect once again also. It's saying this is where your intellect is really going to shine right now, right? So you could even say that this is a person. This person is really helping me shine. This person is really coming in to, give me what it is that I need. with the winged messages. There's a lot of good messages coming in, but it doesn't feel like you're getting a real true rebirth. And I'll tell you why, because you already had the rebirth. Okay, so Spirit is going to make you understand this is not a rebirth, guys. You already had it. You had it during the lunar eclipse. You had the transformation was already done. You already did the rebirth. It was a, full moon in Scorpio for the rebirth. So this is not a rebirth. This is like the shining parts after the rebirth. So you're not getting another rebirth, right? This is how, yeah, thank you, how you're ascending the mountain after the rebirth. So this is not, because you might feel like this could be like the next rebirth, but it's not. This is not like that. Okay. Okay, this is talking about making the new beginnings. Where you felt the delays and the new projects were not coming in, they're starting to now come in. Okay, as you're ascending the mountain. That's what it's trying to say. This is the time to find the clues for the purpose, for your future purpose that you've been looking for, and that you're finally going to start finding the clues to the situation to ascend the mountain. That's what it's talking about. Okay. You've already kind of given birth to the creativity of what it is you want. Now you're finding the clues. So it's saying you don't need to put any more creative thought. You've already done what you're supposed to do. Now you just need to wait for the messages so you can ascend the mountain for the things coming through. So pretty much what it's saying is you don't need to remanifest on any of this or relook at something that you think maybe, well, it didn't come through. So, just use your wisdom and your mind over here to know that everything that you've already done is already in play. Let's put it that way. So you don't have to change the plans. See, because he's a planner. It's saying, I already put all the plans in. I already know how I'm going to ascend the mountain. It will be here within the summertime, right? It's on its way through the winged messages. Wait for the messages. Wait for the texts. Wait for the calls. Wait for, the things that need to come through. Because there's no reason to reorganize any of this. You've already done that. Message has already been heard, pretty much is what this is. They already know what you want. They already know, what's going on. Okay, so they pretty much already recognize the systems that you've been working on. Okay, now it's just kind of like they're plucking. I kind of see the weeds or the garden over here, so I keep thinking they're like plucking weeds out of the garden. You don't have to go to a different garden, Scorpio. You're already where you're supposed to be. They're just kind of plucking the weeds out of the garden that will make space for you to be able to ascend the mountain. So this is just kind of the wait. I kind of see it as kind of a waiting game in a lot of ways, especially next to these other cards. Okay. So it says that there's a lot of courage. You just keep continuing to show the strength and keep going forward as you're waiting for your recognition and reward. Wow. Okay. Because it's saying you manifested everything already. Now, I love how it's coming on that because it's saying you already manifested this. I've already got this. We're just waiting to pluck the weeds out of the garden so that we can get to the action so that the chariot can actually come through. So it feels like it's already pretty much in action. You're just waiting for the chariot. And this is because you have all this, all these intellectual ideas, all this creativity, all these things going on. It does feel like at the end of the month, you are definitely going to have a lot of communication about this situation. And it could be with this King of Scrolls. Okay. Or it could be with this King of Swords. Maybe it's 2 in 1. We do have 3 people here. So it could be you talking to these other 2 people. And that's crazy because I always see this as a fire sign. And this is definitely a swords or a water, right? So you can always say, well, here I am. So you could be definitely talking, to this Leo. That's a Sagittarius card. So this Sag or this Aquarius doesn't have to be to get where you're going. Could even be a Leo. Could be anybody, right? But for now, we're going to call it Sag and Aquarius. And it's saying, I'm being recognized by Sag and Aquarius the more that I continue to have this communication. I see things coming back together. And boy, do you see things. So you're going to get this message that is definitely going to unite what is healthy for you and whatever this is for you, whether it's a love or it's a career, right? Whatever you were manifesting, however this is relating to you, you will know, because your intuition will snap and say, I know exactly what you're talking about if it resonates. Okay. So, but this one is saying no matter what it is, it's something that you're definitely passionate about and you know exactly what it is that you've been looking for. This is how it works, right? More than anything, it's some kind of career, because we're really talking about ascending the mountain in the idea of some kind of business, some kind of job, some kind of opportunity. Could even be some kind of entrepreneurship. Feels like somebody is like going through some kind of like definite entrepreneurship, sort of like a training. I don't know who that's for, but it's really gathering a lot of information and really making you go forward. Like it says, you don't need to make any big risks. Do not make any big risk. You don't need to do that. You're already on the right track. That's what this end of the mountain is. With the temperance, it's just everything needs to move very moderately. Keep yourself moderate and patient through the process. It's going to take a lot of patience, a lot of will, and a lot of power to keep going. So even when you feel like it's, kind of backsliding a little bit, with the Nine of Swords over here, it's almost like the King of Swords. I'm sorry, that's what it feels like. Within the King of Swords, whatever they're doing, they have caused some kind of fear or insecurity within the situation through the communication. So if you were looking for the recognition between both people, maybe you were looking for someone to do this through something, the message that came through was kind of like more fearful. Maybe it's because the way they put something didn't make it sound like they were actually going to work hard for you, or that they were not going to try to push for you as much as possible. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it felt like you thought they were going to be on your side, like maybe the Leo or Sagittarius was. Their message came in and it was strong, it was powerful, it was doing this. And the more you continue to keep talking to maybe this other person, you're starting to think that maybe they're kind of dropping the ball a little bit. Maybe they're not pushing for you as much. Maybe you wanted them to write a resume for you and it's not coming out the way you wanted it to be. Okay, take it how it resonates. It doesn't have to be that way, but it feels like one's super on your side. You felt the other one was on your side, but now you're starting to see towards the end of the month, maybe about the 26th or 27th, are you starting to, come, it's almost like they're kind of pulling back away from you, giving you a little anxiety, making you feel like maybe they're not going to do what they said they were going to do at the very beginning of the end of the month. And maybe they had said this at mid-month, right? But it says you still have the Ace of Cups. Well, of course you do. Of course you do. You're still going to get the fresh new start. So whoever it was that was started making it seem like they weren't going to be on your side or pulling this, pulling away, it's almost like they're not needed anyways. You understand that they're not needed because you already have this other, either have this other person or whatever resume or whatever you've done with the King of Scrolls. Maybe you put out like I said, a paper or resume or something is enough. That's enough for it to be realized. You don't really need this other person's really there, right? Or if they felt, here's another one too, because I see it as well. If you felt like they're pulling away and that they're going to juice you in the end, they don't. Because in the end, it's almost like they're not doing exactly what they're doing. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird because it feels very wishy-washy of them. I'm sorry, it does. It feels like in the very beginning they said, yeah, because I'm going to be there and we're going to do this and do that. And then all of a sudden it feels like they're kind of pulling back and they're kind of like, well, why are you doing that? How come you're not communicating with me as much as you did? Why did you pull out of the situation? But however, in the end, you get the Ace of Cups, whether they come back and say, hey, I've thought about it, or I was taking a break out. It doesn't matter in the end. You get what you want. Queen of Cups or Queen of Coins. Yeah, you're definitely getting what you want because you had enough of self-assuredment anyways. Everything was already in your favor. So they can do whatever they want to do in the end. But no matter what, it feels like, yeah, everything was just kind of cut through anyways. So it just all, came through. It's all going to come through the way you need it to be. But it does feel like they do kind of pull back on the situation. Whoa. So for your daily healing, it is express your love through your deeds. Always love what you're doing with the Two of Cups. That's saying this is your personal power of your love. You're doing by your deeds what you want, what you love. And this is how you're going to end up with the Ace of Cups anyways. Because even if they are giving you a little stress and a little worry that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, just make sure you keep patience within the situation. And keep doing what you need for yourself. Yeah. Okay. Because, yeah, no matter what, it's going to fall through the right way. And then you have this communication, right, of enjoying and getting what you want and what you're prospering with the Queen of Coins. So you're going to hold the coin no matter what. That prosperity and that increase of ascending the mountain is definitely going to reach, bring you to the top anyways. Okay. And that was it for you, my friends. Until next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.